Hey there, and welcome to Apocaflix Movies. I am Jacob Bartley. Before we get started here, we just wanted to tell you a little bit more about our channel. Of course, we discuss things all movie related, and we also focus on Star Wars and geek culture. So if that's what you're into, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We would really appreciate it. You can also find us on all podcast platforms, including Anchor, Apple, and Spotify. Thanks for watching us, and enjoy the show. What is up, world? Welcome to Apocaflix Now from Apocaflix Movies. I am Jacob Bartley, and we are coming to you from Sacramento, California. We're here to talk movies, TV, and all the stuff going on in the world of pop culture. And I am joined by Brian Adelacino, Jake Berlin, of course, behind the screen over there, and Mr. Keith Barnes. How's it going, everybody?
Not too bad.
I'm good.
Yeah, it's a good week. Disney Plus came out this past week. And
just a little thing.
I don't know about you guys, but how much time have you guys spent just browsing
more than
browsing
enough.
it and just looking at it?
More than enough.
I can't believe this is.
I haven't gotten it yet.
True.
I don't think it's on Apple TV.
Oh,
I have an
really?
Apple TV.
Oh, okay.
And I was scrolling through it. It doesn't. It's not on there. I might try to get it on PlayStation, I guess.
PlayStation has it.
Yeah.
I feel like Disney Plus is a must-have. Like, who can
It
go
seems like
on
it, what I hear.
in life without having it now?
The amount of episodes. First episodes I've watched of old shows I watched in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Even Stevens.
I did the same.
Boy Meets World.
Stevens.
The Mighty Ducks TV
I know it was a Disney
show.
Channel show.
Darkwing Duck. Like all of these shows I watched just the first episodes. I watched Even Stevens 2 days ago for the first episode. I was dying.
Dude.
Absolutely dying at Shia LaBeouf and how he was in that show.
Yeah, right.
It is an all-time favorite.
It's amazing
this
because
service is
they don't just have Disney stuff; they have Vox stuff too.
Oh,
so
The Simpsons.
They have the Simpsons.
Yeah.
They have the.
But there's an issue with The Simpsons because they messed up the aspect ratio.
What?
I heard
really?
about that.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
So
But
they're probably gonna fix
today.
it.
Yeah,
They
right.
did say they
Fix it.
are going to fix it.
That's one of the things I wanted to do was wait for all the glitches and little stuff.
Well, the thing is, I thought there wasn't going to be enough content on it at first. There's
Oh my
more
God.
than
Oh,
enough
yeah,
content.
My watch list
And
will never go away.
I'm so happy they have the X-Men animated series.
Yeah,
I
right.
started
That's
watching
what I've
it.
been watching.
And it's amazing.
So
It
I
is.
don't know if you guys heard, but they put it up on Disney Plus in unchronological order.
No, that one is X-Men's fine. Spider-Man isn't.
I was told it's X-Men, or I was read.
Oh, really?
Spider-Man isn't.
I read that X-Men isn't in the order that it was.
Spider-Man
released
series.
in.
The
Sp-
animated-
No.
I wish they would
X-Men.
put Clone Wars in the chronological order, timeline-wise.
Yeah. I'm rewatching Rebels already.
Maybe
I'm
they will when it
episodes
comes
in.
out.
I'm gonna rewatch Rebels. I wanted to do Clone Wars first.
I'm 6
So
episodes
I'm gonna rewatch all of Clone Wars.
I've seen Clone Wars too many times, man. It's
Yeah.
I gotta go back.
You're-
I've only
watched Clone Wars
watched
like
it
3 or 4 times
from beginning to
It's
end once. So
Yeah. I watched it on Netflix originally when it was first available, and then I went back and watched it 2 times in the order chronological.
I started
And they
watching
made
it
me
like a
watch
month
it,
before
and-
they took it off Netflix, and I was so upset. And I'm just
It's a weird thing they did with Clone Wars.
They do it
man.
with all kinds of TV
I'm doing
shows.
chronological order though.
Oh, they did it with
for Clone
Firefly.
Wars.
Firefly was like
Yeah,
that.
they
It
do.
was-
It's so strange.
Yeah.
And if you watch Clone Wars in chronological order, it makes so much more sense.
Yeah.
So much more sense.
Well, that's how you made me watch it.
so
And
much more sense.
Yeah.
And real quick, Clone Wars is
coming back.
first of all that, but also it is super dark.
It
Like
is.
there's straight up
Yeah.
murder throughout the whole show. No kidding. What's her name? Dooku's apprentice.
Saw
Saz Ventress. In the beginning of the season
Love
1,
her.
she's straight up murdering guys, like just taking lightsabers straight through the back, and it comes out their
Top
chests.
5
I'm
for
like,
me.
Yeah.
Cartoon Network, man.
That's
They-
Cartoon. And did you see Cartoon Network's going to be on HBO Max now?
Is it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Nickelodeon's going to Nick.
Like, I don't even
Netflix.
think Rebels went that far with some of the violence.
No, but there was some stuff.
There was some-
I
yeah,
saw.
that's right.
I watched an episode last night, and a Wookiee got shot in the face. And
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
I know.
This
It's
is on
crazy.
Disney. This is
I
on
remember
Disney
the
XD.
opening
Sounds like
of season
Jawas.
3. Not Kanan. What's the kid's name? Ezra killed some stormtroopers. Like,
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
like there are some stuff.
I'm just like, I can't believe that.
Yeah.
The
I still
violence.
No,
think
no.
he has one of the best.
But yes, the
lightsabers.
world is better. Disney runs the world, man. It's crazy. There's
Disney and Apple.
There's Disney ads
Yeah, right.
everywhere, just randomly. Just
I literally, on all of my devices, keep getting ads for Disney Plus. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I already have you.
It's not
Leave
just
me
Disney
alone.
Plus. Like every company has like a partnership with Disney.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Like, I saw like a
Hulu, I didn't know
a jeweler commercial.
Fox
I'm
is
gonna upgrade
Hulu.
to Hulu and Disney Plus. It's only $6 more a month.
Be careful.
Why?
Because I believe you get ads if you do the three combined.
On Disney Plus?
No, on Hulu.
On
Oh, I
Hulu.
don't
Hulu,
care.
you get ads.
I don't care about that.
Yeah.
That doesn't bother me either. But, So listen. It's that time of year. Okay, it's November. It's my favorite time of year, man. I love
me too.
October, November, December.
Me too. I
Halloween,
completely agree.
Yeah, right. The weather's changing.
October, Thanksgiving, or Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas.
It's the best time of year.
Amazing.
So I wanted to run this thing by you guys that I can't take credit for it. I got this from this sports talk radio host I used to listen to in DC, named Steve Zabin, and he would do this thing called Thanksgiving versus 4th of July. And he would look at things like food, of course, weather, and sports, like sports watching stuff. So Thanksgiving versus 4th of July, especially food. What's your
4th of July.
Where are you going at?
I don't like Thanksgiving.
You guys are. Oh man.
I'm not
Really?
I'm not a Thanksgiving person.
Wait, hold on.
So
You're a baseball guy.
So
you love summer.
This is. I'm choosing the food of Thanksgiving particularly because there is nothing like a hot dog at a baseball stadium.
Yeah.
And when I think of 4th of July food, I think of baseball stadiums. I don't think of 4th of July. And I have hot dogs all throughout the baseball season.
Yeah.
And so typically, and quite honestly, I've gone to a number of baseball games on 4th of July.
Yeah.
And so when I think of 4th of July, I think of baseball. But there's nothing like green bean casserole.
Well, I thought for
on
sure
Green bean
Thanksgiving Day.
casserole is the best dish
There's
I'm not
of
gonna-
all time.
nothing.
I'm not
There is
It's okay.
Of all
nothing
time.
like green bean casserole on Thanksgiving with
Wow.
stuffing.
It's fresh and stuff.
And it's
Crunchy.
just I love me some hot dogs, but Thanksgiving is once a year. I can have hot dogs from the end of March
That is
until
true.
the beginning of October.
Yeah, right.
You know, because of baseball season, so it's for sure Thanksgiving with the food.
No.
Wow.
So I'm looking
I'm
at it
4th of
as if,
July.
all right, if I had to be stuck in one time period.
If
forever,
I had to be stuck between one or two of them, it's 100% 4th of July.
Yeah, right.
I would choose Thanksgiving because we talked about this is my favorite time of year.
Yeah.
I love it for multiple reasons. The weather is amazing.
That's my
It's
favorite.
not
The weather's
too hot,
not
too
even
cold.
close to the weather.
Football, obviously. And then
Sports is 4th of July.
movies. I love
That's
Oscar
what-
season. I love Oscar season. It's,
Yeah.
Oh, good call. I
honestly,
didn't
it
think
might be
about
my
that, yeah.
favorite part of movie season.
Movie wise, it's for sure.
Definitely.
It's for sure Thanksgiving time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it depends. Like some people will be summer hands.
Especially November 2019.
Some people might choose summer hands down, because you have the big blockbusters.
Well, Spider-Man comes
for
out
the
on
most
most
part.
There tend to be, that's true. 'Cause I was going to
But
say, they tend to be
yeah,
over by 4th of July for the most
That's
part.
easy for me, even though my birthday's in July. But it's
November
easy for me.
2019 for
November.
movies is absolutely
This
insane.
is serious,
It takes the cake for all the entire year.
This whole year.
The
so
entire
far.
year. There's nothing else like it this year.
How about you?
Oh man, I'm torn. See, I love the fireworks and all this stuff. Weather, it's not even close because the weather here.
November weather here is
insane
awesome.
during the summer.
This year, it's particularly because there's no rain going on. It's
Not-
just like overcast,
right.
mid 70s, maybe the occasional mid 80s.
It's been mild for like 2
So
months straight.
nice.
Some people are probably watching this like, you guys are so spoiled living in California.
Yeah.
So other people have such
We're gonna
severe
get,
weather.
once January
conditions.
comes, we're gonna hit for 4 straight months of just straight rain.
Rain.
It's
Yeah.
all gonna come.
Yeah,
it's
that's
all gonna
true.
come at once.
But some people are experiencing really cold weather right
Yeah.
now, and
Oh,
we're
yeah.
lucky to live in California because
Yeah.
it's beautiful outside right now.
Definitely. Now, Brian, you hard line.
I don't like Thanksgiving.
You don't like Thanksgiving.
I'm
Now,
not-
you do
I
that-
don't like Thanksgiving food.
Brian
Why?
doesn't have a soul.
We've established this way long ago.
Really?
Leftover turkey sandwiches.
I don't like.
Oh my god!
I don't like-
I just
I don't
started,
like turkey.
I used to dislike turkey a lot, and now I've just started
I'm
kind
more
of
of a
easing
ham
into
guy,
it.
to
I'm a
be
ham
honest.
big time.
Me
ham
too.
guy. Yeah.
I'll take ham, but
What is wrong with you guys? It's
Turkey's fine. I'll eat it.
Turkey.
I'll eat it, but
The
I don't.
skin,
The skin.
the white
Depends.
meat,
Thanksgiving
all
ham,
of it.
It's very
Thanksgiving
dry.
turkey.
It's very too dry for
Yeah.
me.
That's why you throw gravy on top.
All right, so
Yeah.
final
What the
choice:
hell?
Thanksgiving or 4th of July.
4th of July.
All right, so there you have it. 2 4th of Julys, 2 Thanksgivings. It evened out there. All right, so now moving on to what we've been watching lately, and I know there's a big one that we've all been watching, but you guys want to talk about little movies?
So
first?
the way that I mapped this out on the notes, the way I wanted it to work, because we have so many news stories to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of wanted the Mandalorian discussion, and I know Keith hasn't seen it yet, and we'll keep it non-spoiler free.
Oh yeah, just
but it'll
quick
kind
non-spoiler,
of
yeah.
blend into our news discussion because
wait, you haven't watched it?
We kind of want to have a good
Dude,
time
how can-
discussion about it.
What?
I just said I wasn't able to get Disney Plus.
I'm
but
sorry,
yeah.
it didn't click
I
until
know, it didn't
now.
process. I'm like, but
Trying
he
to
did watch
get it
The
last night.
Mandalorian is what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Like somehow.
So let's start
Yeah.
with the Ford vs Ferrari review because Brian and I were able to see that on Thursday night. I will say this right now, hands down, best movie of the year.
of the year.
Hands down, best movie of the year. It's there's no competition. No competition. Peanut Butter Falcon is second for me.
You love that
and
movie.
it's very
It's
close.
on Redbox now.
It's close. I'm not gonna
is
say
it?
it's very close. It's close.
Okay.
And Brian can probably go into detail about more of why I've liked it and kind of how he experienced the movie with me. But this is hands down the best film of 2019.
Was anyone on their phone?
No, there was barely anyone in there.
No, there was probably about
right.
probably about a third of the seats were filled up.
Yeah.
So, but the movie
didn't seem like it.
the movie took out is stomping everybody else this weekend, which is good. So, but this film is incredible from start to finish. The performances, I honestly, after watching it, I really believe that it'll get nominated for Best Picture, one of Best Actor, and Mangold will get Best Director, and maybe even a visual because the film is visually beautiful.
Just looking at the trailer, it looks...
Well, they have to be because you can't do all these stunts because they're driving so fast. You can't do them physically, and the way they were able to make it look so real in the aspect of what was going on.
Well, is it CG?
Most of the driving is CG.
Really?
A lot. They're driving at over 150 miles an hour.
Yeah.
It's a race. It's race cars. You know what I mean?
They did it.
There's a lot of stuff that's real. There is a lot of stuff.
Well,
that's
it would
real.
be stunt.
No,
But
drivers,
you also have to remember that this takes place back in the 60s as well.
Yeah, right.
And they're over in France and they're doing all this stuff with cars, and so it's hard to do that in real without risking it.
And it's less risky.
Especially having someone like Bale in the seat doing it.
No, yeah.
And back then in the 60s, a lot of the cars didn't have roofs. A lot of the race cars were open cabs, and you can't do that to an actor or even a stuntman.
Yeah,
that's high
of
risk,
course,
you know.
Yeah.
But this
Can't
movie
we
is
see
just so. I mean, I put it up here for a reason. So.
Yeah, there's literally how I watched it was the movie experience and watching Jake watch the movie because he was literally as entertaining as this movie because there were points where he was like literally like like getting up, he's sitting in a ball like going like this,
That's
like
awesome.
gripping his seat. I was literally just laughing.
To me, it very much felt like, and this is whole credit to Mangold, but he puts you behind the wheel of the car. He physically put you behind the wheel of the car the entire time. And Matt Damon and Christian Bale together are I want them in every movie together. They are so good
Christian
in this film.
Bale was insane.
Knowing who Carroll Shelby is, because I'm a huge car guy. I have been for a very long time. My dad and I we rebuilt my first ever car, which in fact was funny. The car was in display in the film, a '66 Mustang, for 2 years before my 16th birthday. And so I have it. And my all-time favorite car is a GT Shelby 500 Mustang, which Carroll Shelby designed. It's his baby. And so knowing him, Matt Damon played him perfectly. And then not knowing a lot about Ken Miles, Christian Bale he like overpowered the screen as this guy. Like took over the screen as this guy, and being directed by Mangold. And then Christian Bale's wife in the film was fantastic.
She was awesome.
She was so good.
She
had never seen her
held
before.
her own with those two.
Noah Jupe played the son. He was great.
I'd forgotten. I just heard. I was watching the Christian Arloff's new show, and I didn't realize that John Bernthal was in this. And
John
playing
Bernthal
Lee
was
Iacocca. Which I went, what?
Josh Lucas was awesome as a dickhead executive.
Where's he been?
Played that suit and tie executive that had nothing to do with. He played it great. The overall film was, in the racing aspect, was just amazing. It kept you. The pacing of it was incredible, and how they captured the racing. Like, there's a lot of movies about this type of stuff that capture the outside of stuff and don't really show you like the real, like whether it's a sports movie or racing movie or something. They don't really show you a lot of the sport or the racing. Half of this movie's in the car.
That's awesome.
Half of
that's
the
what I
movie
was
is
worried
in the car.
about. They do that with a lot of these dramas where they focus more on the people and their lives and all that.
You see like amateur races. You see the test driving of the car that they built for the race. You see the final race. Like
Story.
It's incredible. Yeah.
I loved Enzo Ferrari.
Yeah. The guy who played Ferrari is for sure really good.
The story, because like at one point I was like, okay, when are we actually going to see like Ford versus Ferrari? But then like afterwards I was like, okay. And this is for me, like I'm not a car person. I literally went into it not thinking I was going to like this movie at all. I was pretty entertained by it. It was for me, it was really good. It was
That's
really,
awesome.
really good.
That's great to hear that because I knew Jake was gonna love it. This movie was made for you.
Yeah, right.
Brian, I wasn't sure how he was gonna feel about it. I'm
to
gonna
be
watch it
honest,
soon.
I was just going to see the movie because
Yeah.
I mean I knew it was.
So I
gonna
was
be a big
actually
movie.
going to ask you guys what your favorite movie of the year was because I saw Peanut Butter Falcon in the red box and I was like, man, I got it. I'm going to probably get it today. And I was thinking about you guys and wondering what your favorite movie of the year was. Jake answered that. Is yours?
Am I not including Endgame?
Well,
Yeah,
no, you
yeah.
are.
Your
You're
favorite
not-
movie of the year.
Then Endgame.
Yeah.
Endgame will probably go down as one of my, if not almost my favorite movie of all time. I'm not kidding.
I mean,
I'm not kidding.
I'm not laughing because it sounds funny. It's just crazy. Like I love to hear you say that.
No,
Yeah.
And Endgame is my number one movie this year
Yeah.
so far. But I still have a lot of movies to watch, so that could change.
But if we're taking
right.
out Endgame, Peanut Butter Falcon.
Yeah, I figured.
Oh, you
Yeah.
guys love that.
Well, just for
that
the
was
sake of
amazing.
it, what is yours so far?
I don't know. Favorite? This is gonna sound ridiculous, but I mean I really enjoyed Zombieland too.
Oh, dude,
I really
You
did.
really think that would be your
I-
favorite movie of the year?
that movie.
Favorite?
Oh.
Maybe. Although I mean it would probably it's between that and Endgame.
Oh my
Because I've watched
goodness.
Endgame like 20
That's
times.
crazy.
But I really like Zombieland.
All right, so just real quick, we're not going to get too much into depth.
If I may, sorry. I went and saw last Saturday. I went and saw Jojo Rabbit.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Let's hear this then.
I knew you were gonna.
Did you
like
understand how we kind
I
of?
went to Tower.
It. Yeah.
I missed like maybe the first 3 minutes because it was a long line, which I
The
couldn't
line to get in
believe.
at Tower is always.
But I bought my ticket on Fandango, and then I get to the
Yeah.
thing, and they're like, "No, just go ahead." I'm like, "So I sat in this line for no
Yeah.
reason." But whatever.
They did the opposite to me. I went up to the front and they were like, "Go to the back." I was like, "Oh,
Oh, geez, really? Yeah.
Yeah. Go
So
ahead.
I was very mad. So I walked in right in. I missed maybe the first 3 minutes or so.
yeah."
Right as mild spoiler when they're trying to get him to kill the rabbit.
Yeah.
It's right there. But oh man, that kid was great. That kid was amazing. And then I think Jake, you mentioned Taika Waititi. I don't know about nomination. I don't know about that. He was really good, but he.
I
Where's
did to
the
the board.
board?
Dun, 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 dun,
We should've had
dun.
We took down the poster. We'll put a
I
board up
have a
there.
spare.
Hey,
I have a whiteboard.
We'll have to put a board up there.
I'm gonna
He
get
was
a giant
great.
scroll, and every time it's just pop and then add it to the list.
He was great. I just don't know if he was nomination good. Not
We'll see about that,
necessarily.
Keith.
I don't know.
We'll look at that.
Well, though there was a scene where he went serious into this tirade
Towards the
about
end.
how.
Towards the end. Yeah.
So that was maybe based on that, if that's where you were kind of coming from, but because that was really chilling, honestly. But
What'd you think of Scarlett?
Scarlett, I think it might be the best, and she
her
really
career.
wasn't. She was in it less than I thought she would be, but yeah, she was outstanding.
I haven't
love
seen
her.
Marriage Story yet, but I think it's the best of her career. Marriage Story could be the best
That
of her
does look
career.
really good, yeah.
Because that's the talk is, but yeah,
Adam Driver,
great.
is that the one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Isn't that on
she's-
Netflix now?
It's on Netflix December 6th.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in limited theaters right now. We didn't unfortunately we didn't get it.
Get it here,
so.
exactly. But yeah, she is really great, and there's a thing that happens about 2/3 through the movie that was pretty devastating, and
Shocked you, right?
yeah, it was.
There
And
was an
that's-
audible gasp. In the
yeah,
theater.
no, I really, yeah, it was very. There's a few people there, but I think I might have
Yeah.
heard the same thing, and without spoiling, but it's the second time.
I still haven't seen it. So.
Okay, no, yeah, but it's the second time with this particular performer that they've devastated us this year, and
Yeah,
if you know
it
what
was
I'm saying.
it was a good movie.
Yeah, but no, it's really great, and it's a great ending. And I like the girl, the Jewish girl. That was a surprise. I actually didn't. I don't know if that's. I hope that's not a spoiler because I don't think that was that in the trailer.
No, yeah, she says, "What are you, a Jew?"
Yeah,
Okay.
that was
Gives you
in the
type.
trailer.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't catch that at all.
Yeah.
But really, it was great. It was really great.
Yeah, so quickly, because we haven't moved on. We have to move on to our news stories, but The Mandalorian.
Yeah,
Let's talk a little
we're
bit
going to
about
talk about the Mandalorian every week.
Yeah, we have a plug. We have the Fandalorian
We have the
Club.
Fandalorian Club,
Fandalorian
which I
Club.
haven't been a part of, but hopefully next week I'll be on that. But
Yeah,
just
why haven't
real quick, so the first episode. All right, no matter what, I'm biased towards this, so I love it no matter what with all my heart. But with the first episode, I liked it. I liked the first episode. I didn't love it.
I gave it a 7.
Yeah, I agree.
Second episode is one of the greatest things I've ever seen. For hands down. And that's because it's catered to us Star Wars fans, right? It has things we're familiar with, but showing us them in a new way. Mm-hmm. And I love that. And just the first episode, I mean, I think a lot of people have these same reactions, but the blue alien from the beginning was talking too much and in basic. He should have had an alien
It's
accent.
Horatio Sands.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
From SNL?
Yeah.
That's funny.
He should have had an alien accent, which would have taken away the
but
actor's
it was
ability.
Horatio Sands, and they had to make him
So it's
talk.
whatever. But the second half of the first episode, when he meets IG-11, that whole shootout at the end was amazing.
As
soon as he
spinning around.
I told Brian this in our review, but as soon as he meets Grief Karga, Carl Weathers, that's where the episode's like, we're going.
And then the second episode
Weathers
just
is on there.
takes you on this epic journey with the Mandalorian, and it's so cool because how do they fit all of this in 30 minutes? Because it feels like an hour worth of content that we're watching.
I told Brian this,
but so much happens in a short time.
I told Brian this last night. I believe that this was essentially one episode cut into two because it was two this week.
That's what
I have a feeling that the next because they're all weekly now. I feel like they're going to be 45 plus.
The first one was 37 minutes. The second one's 30.
Yeah.
Really?
So I think that we're going to see 45.
I don't mind the short time because the editing and the pacing is perfect.
Yeah, we talked about.
But also, I want them to choose a time that it comes out.
So it comes out. It comes out at 7 a.m. our time
Is that
on
official?
Fridays now because it was out at 4 a.m. Eastern yesterday.
Okay, if that's official, then cool.
I'm pretty sure it comes out 7 a.m.
No,
7:30 on
cool.
Friday mornings.
We have work.
I mean, no. Honestly, that's a terrible time.
It's out 4 a.m. on the East Coast.
Yeah.
That's a terrible time to release a show, but I'm saying at least we have a set time.
I wish they would have took the risk and been like, we're gonna drop it at 6 o'clock like a normal show.
Yeah.
That would have been really cool.
That's
But I'm cool with it because we have a chance to watch it at the end of the day when we get off work or whatever. That's
8
fine.
o'clock Thursday nights.
So
I could watch it in the morning before I go to work. I really could. All right, so let's move on to our news topics then.
Yeah, so we have a lot to talk about, and we're going to start with some Star Wars because it's a nice little blend here. And we're going to talk about J.J. Abrams and the Rise of Skywalker and how he essentially came out and he had an interview, and he said that Rian Johnson inspired him to take chances on the Rise of Skywalker, to take risk and try something new. Whether or not it's true or not, I am not positive. Just to kind of recap a little bit, because his quotes are kind of big, but he had mentioned that, Ryan helped me remind me that that's why we're to make these movies, not just to do something that you've seen before. I won't say that I felt constrained or limited on 7, but I found myself wanting to do something that felt more consistent with the original trilogy than not. In 9, I found myself feeling like I'm just going to go for it a bit more. I like the comments. Whether or not it takes fruition, I'm not sure. But I definitely have felt that along the time that this is the approach he's been taking because it's his second movie. And now, there's 2 movies prior. They saw the backlash, and he kind of wants to give it his all, because it is the final in the Rise of Skywalker in the saga. And so, just, kind of want to talk about some interesting quotes here from J.J. Abrams.
I think he's saving face for Rian Johnson.
I think so.
We all literally just thought like that at the same time. But, I mean, there's only so much change you can really take from someone, but I think he's saving face.
Well, the thing is, he didn't have to say these comments, right? Like, he came out, I don't know the context of the interview, but he went out of his way to mention that Rian Johnson inspired him to take chances, and I don't think they talked about it like, hey man, you gotta take chances more. Like, yeah, you're right. No, he's talking about viewing The Last Jedi taught him that he needs to loosen up a little bit and take a bit more chances. I like this because it takes what we've learned from Force Awakens and Last Jedi and is going to try to kind of fix those mistakes and make a better movie for Episode 9, because a lot of people, and I don't necessarily agree, but a lot of people say Episode 7 was too safe. It was a remake of The New Hope, which is crazy, but has similar story beats. And then Episode 8 was too different, not what we wanted, not our Luke, not our Star Wars. So, and I'm quoting people online, I'm not saying that's how I feel, but I like this because I do believe him, and I do think it's sincere, and I do think he's not going to go crazy wild, but I do think we're going to see some influences of taking risk from Rian Johnson.
Yeah, I think there might be a blend of both. So I think on some level he is kind of saving face, like you said, a little. But I think you're probably right. I mean, he's mainly not from the standpoint of I'm going to kill the villain, 2/3 of the way, or not 2/3, not even that, halfway through, like he did with Snoke or something crazy like that. But maybe just do something a little, like I said, take a little more of a chance than he did, because we're not having to re-establish Star Wars like he had to do with Force Awakens. You know what I mean? So I get why people call that safe. Even Force Awakens, that's my number.
It's my number 3 movie in the Star Wars franchise.
I think I have it at 3. Yeah,
I love the movie.
3 or 4.
I
As of
love
right
the movie.
now,
It is safe.
it's
though.
still,
So, it
it's
is
still the
definitely- I
best
get it.
movie
What
out
people
of the
say.
new era for me.
Yeah.
I agree. I would agree.
Mine's broke one, but
That's
we
like
do
that's
that?
probably number 2.
Even the trailers give off a very ambitious vibe. I mean, all the
Sure.
footage that we've seen. I mean, bringing Palpatine back is a
Palpatine,
risk.
right.
That's a risk.
the
And
Death
then
Star.
bringing all those rebel ships. That's a risk.
And
Yeah.
honestly,
Like,
all
this
those,
movie could be
Star
something we're
Destroyers.
not even expecting at all. Like,
I know. Like-
considering Star Wars and J.J. Abrams, they're also secretive. What if this movie's completely just wild out there?
It might be. You saw what Kevin Smith said,
Which
about
I'm
it.
okay with.
All the stuff he said. Yeah, what he said about the last scene. J.J. Abrams brought him to the set.
Oh, that
Yeah.
it's like it
The whole
like
thing.
made him cry.
You're right. Yeah, it'll
yeah,
melt your
yeah.
brain or whatever he said, and he didn't want to show him the.
Yeah, he didn't want to see the full scene,
last-
but JJ's like, you gotta see this.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you gotta see this.
So, who knows? I mean, we'll see. I mean, but like I said, it might be a blend of both.
Every time we talk about this, all I hear is the slowed down theme song from the trailer.
Yeah, it's so
Yeah.
good.
That's
So
really
So
good.
good.
Stormy, what do you think?
And the Kylo.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
He's got.
Sorry, I have a friend back here. All right, let's move on to our next story here. We have some news out of the DC universe after what seems like a decade
Because
of
pretty much
conversations, speculation, whether it's happening or not. Dwayne Johnson revealed earlier this week on his Instagram that Black Adam is officially headed our way for 2021, December 22nd, 2021. A really ambitious release date, if you're speaking of ambitious here. He had this big long quote about why he chose Black Adam as a superhero and how he saw Superman as his idol growing up, but then he found out later in life that he can't play that type of hero because he's more of a rebellious guy. Really, really interesting quote from him on his Instagram. You can see that, but we got a cool little render of a poster as well by Boss Logic. Put him under the cape of Black Adam. But quickly, guys, I mean, this is finally headed our way. Do you think it's actually going to happen this time, Jacob?
I do. You know, I mean, who knows with DC, right? But normally they announce like 8 films, and we're like, okay, we'll see.
Yeah.
But this is just one announcement. They've been talking about this movie for like a decade. I do think that we are going to see this movie, and it's with the director, right? That they have a director attached,
I
right?
was just about to ask, do they have a director?
Yeah, it's
Is it the guy who
who
did
did the
Jungle
Shallows?
Cruise or no?
The guy who did the Shallows.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
it's not the guy who's doing Jungle Cruise, is it?
Call it Sarah?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
He has like a hyphenated last name or
Okay.
something like that. But anyways, I know it's with the director that he likes working with and that he trusts.
I'm gonna butcher his name, but John Colette Sarah.
Oh yeah,
Juan
he
Colette
was
Sarah.
the
maybe?
guy who was up for Suicide Squad 2 a
Yes,
while
yeah,
ago.
yes.
Yeah. So, and a lot of people point to The Shallows as one of his good movies.
That's
I
pretty
love
good.
that movie.
That's a good movie.
Love
Yeah.
it.
I like it.
So yeah, I do think it's going to happen. I think The Rock is determined to make it happen. He obviously has a relationship with this director, and they announced it. That poster is by Boss Logic, right?
Yeah.
But it's funny, like websites are. I sell headlines like official poster.
Well, it
but-
is an official poster.
So he did that for Warner Brothers.
It's a teaser poster. He did it for Warner Brothers.
Oh, that's
There's
cool.
a release date on the bottom, and he also
Dude.
did a second piece of art that Gio put in one of our chats. That was done, I guess, either months or years ago of him fighting Superman.
Boss Logic
it's
is
Henry
amazing.
Cavill's
Yeah, he is.
Superman over the top of Black Adam's of Rock's Black Adam punched in the ground essentially. So it is an official because Boss Logic did about half of the posters for Far From Home. Marvel hired him as well.
Did they really?
And so
okay. I
he's-
didn't know
he's-
studios were actually hiring
Yeah, so
him
he's
now.
being hired for all this stuff now. So it's an official teaser poster.
That's
It's official.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm all for it, and I do think it's going to happen.
I think it's going to happen. I'm honestly, I love Black Adam as a character. I just don't care anymore because I've heard it for so long that I'm just like, when I actually see like a trailer or
yeah,
something,
that's how I
I'll
am.
get excited for it. But we're going on like 10 years.
This is the last chance. If they cancel it again or postpone it again, I'm done.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I'll be excited when it comes out. Black Adam's a cool superhero, or anti-hero. A cool story if you know it and stuff. He was awesome in Injustice, the video games and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm tired of hearing of it. It's been like 10 years. Just show me something and then I'll get behind it. That isn't a poster. Like, it's like, okay, Boss Logic could have done that
The
at any
Rock
point in the
himself
80 years.
put it on there. Like I said in our chat. No, I know.
I
know.
need
I'm
something
with you.
more concrete. And it's,
Yeah.
again, 2 years away. And I'm like, it's a little far out. We've been saying, oh, coming soon. Now we gotta wait another 2 years. I'll get more excited when it
The
gets
Rock,
closer.
The Rock has a lot of projects always in development, obviously, because he's the hardest working guy in Hollywood. But after Jungle Cruise comes out, I don't know his next big film. And so this could be the film that he pretty much...
Well, is he not doing the last Fast and Furious? Aren't they? Isn't he?
Yeah,
Well,
he's-
Fast
no, he's
9
not in it.
is done
He's not in
filming.
it.
He's not in Fast
No,
9.
they'll do
so,
Hobbs and
Really?
Shaw.
I don't. The Hobbs and Shaw sequel hasn't been announced, so this is
He's
kind
not
of
in
the
that
next.
movie.
No,
This is
I mean,
the next movie.
As far as we know, but him and Vin Diesel apparently have a legitimate beef.
He'll
Like,
be.
And I know that they're going to be doing San Andreas 2, which I don't know when that's going to happen.
Oh
but,
my god.
But this could, after Jungle Cruise
how do you
press
do a
tour and
sequel
everything,
to a disaster film?
Another earthquake.
The earthquake comes back.
Yeah, to get revenge on the Rock.
all right, well, moving on to our next story. We have one of my favorite stories of this week, and it has to do with none other than Nick Cage, one of the most high-profile actors in our lifetime, who has not been in a major studio film in a very long time. In fact, his last studio film was Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance, 2011. It's
So
been
long
8
ago.
years since he's had a studio film. Doing a bunch of wacky and smaller films since then.
Would you count Spider-Verse? Would you count that?
Yeah, you can count that, but he was just a voice,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, but you can count that. You can count that. So he has a new movie coming out from Lionsgate, and apparently this was a very, very hot topic and for studios. And Lionsgate beat out Paramount and HBO Max for the project, and it is going to be Nicolas Cage starring as Nicolas Cage in a meta drama called The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. And just a little synopsis of the movie. It follows actor Nicolas Cage, who is trying to get a role in a new Tarantino movie while navigating a strained relationship with his teenage daughter. He's also under a mountain of debt and as such is forced to make an appearance at the birthday party of a Mexican billionaire who also happens to be a ruthless drug kingpin who has kidnapped the daughter of a local politician. Naturally, the CIA recruits Cage to get involved and assume the role of action hero once again. This sounds awesome.
Yes, it does.
This sounds
amazing.
awesome. This is so much fun. I cannot wait to see this movie. Cannot wait to see this movie.
Will Tarantino be in it?
I hope so.
I
That'd be
would love
amazing.
Awesome.
That'd be amazing. Could you imagine if Tarantino directed this as his last movie?
Oh my goodness gracious.
That'd be so cool. I mean, what do you guys think?
That's hilarious. That is. I didn't see that actually. I missed that. But so who's directing? Do we know who's behind
No,
this?
but no yet.
Do we know?
Just know that he's attached. Yeah.
And when is this scheduled? Do we know?
It comes out in the next few years. So Lionsgate just bid on it and just got the rights to it.
Okay. Okay. Well, listen. This is right up. I mean, this has Nicolas Cage written all over it. Like,
Absolutely,
You know.
yeah.
So he's playing a version of himself. He did a similar thing. Well, not really, but I was gonna say adaptation is kind of. That's not really similar. Where he played Charlie Kaufman in that, and some crazy weird stuff happened in that movie. But yeah, this is all Nick Cage. He had money struggles himself, you know. And I know there was the one, you know, he had the Superman comic stolen from his house, and he had to auction off. He bought a bunch of. Look up all the weird stuff Nick Cage has bought with his money in his career. It's very strange. But so I wonder how much of that will play into this movie. But yeah, this sounds pretty awesome.
Oh, I guess Tom Gormican is directing it.
Oh,
They said
okay.
the guy who directed That Awkward Moment, which
Oh, interesting.
it's good. This is a completely different movie than that, but this
Oh,
sounds
okay.
amazing. Like, I can't wait. I love when movies mix like reality with fiction and they use real life people in the movies. We saw that in like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but it's Nicolas Cage playing Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
This
It's
is like
so
an episode.
perfect.
It's like an episode of Entourage.
Yeah,
It's something you would see
exactly,
on Entourage.
exactly.
It
And-
really is.
I just can't wait to see this. This sounds so much fun.
It sounds
really
so
does.
much
And I'm
fun.
100% behind
Brian, you're not in, are you?
No. Not even close.
Is it because of Nick Cage or just the idea?
The whole thing. I don't like
Have you-
Nicolas Cage.
Oh, Nick Cage can do no
Wow.
wrong. Nick Cage can
Nick
do no
Cage
wrong.
is a legend.
It's
But he's a really, really good actor. Like,
When he's
a
given the
great-
opportunity,
yeah.
he's
He's
a
an Oscar
really
He's
winner.
been in some great, yeah.
Oscar winner.
So
so
I just, but see, that's the thing. He's aware. He's aware of,
and the worst thing is I'm probably still gonna go see this.
and you'll love it.
Oh, yes,
I bet
you
you'll.
are.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Jake is dragging.
100%. I was literally about to say that.
This is gonna.
Yeah,
yeah, right.
Guess-
We are opening your
Guess
horizon.
who's gonna drag my
Yeah.
butt to it? This guy over here.
I'm actually behind your idea of making Brian watch movies every week. We should
make it a segment.
Maybe that
Oh
should
my
be the.
God.
Yeah,
We
right.
should make it a
And
segment.
he's slacking.
Our
He's
new-
supposed
our
to
new
watch The
challenge,
Matrix.
just-
The Matrix
Brian
came up
I
yesterday
actually
on the
have
Mandalorian
them.
Club.
They're
so-
literally on my Netflix queue, but I can't find the first one. It's the second and the third one are
Really?
there. I don't know.
Maybe it's not on there.
They were on Hulu.
I have.
Oh no! Oh well.
Yeah, I'll bring you the Blu-ray.
Too
The
bad,
Blu-ray's awesome.
right?
Shoot.
How would
not
you,
on Disney
I just
Plus.
I can't understand.
Bring
anybody
over
who
your
would
Blu-ray,
not
Jake.
want to watch The Matrix. Like
When I was in
great,
school,
it might be the greatest action film of all time.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No,
And
people,
maybe.
that's seriously a consideration.
That's a serious.
A lot of people say that.
I've said, but
It's gonna be
been
tough
so
because
long and you haven't
he's
seen
gonna,
it. It's gonna be.
I don't want to say it's dated,
It'll
but
be a
he might
letdown.
view
For
it
him.
that
That's
way.
what I'm saying. It might be a letdown.
But I don't care. The storytelling is amazing in The Matrix. And as a kid, that movie affected me so much. There's certain things that happened in it that scared me and traumatized me. Like, not literally, but like were terrifying. Like,
Traumatized.
The movie's scary when you're watching it.
if you're a kid,
Yeah.
I'm sure
The
the stuff.
beginning.
He's pulling the
Yeah,
thing out of his
the
mouth.
beginning,
and
just
yeah, right.
it was for kids. It's partly a horror film, to be honest.
All right, well, let's skip on to buy and sell here, and we have some trailers to talk about. We're going to do this in two different sections because there were a lot of trailers that came out this week. And I kind of broke it down for animated and then live action. And yes, I know that Sonic and SpongeBob are kind of a mixture of the two.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's
the
like
first,
kids' movies and adult movies.
although I heard the first SpongeBob movie was pretty funny. Never saw it.
It is
I love
actually.
Yeah,
the
so
the
it's
first
pretty-
one.
pretty funny.
Love
is.
it.
Interesting. So we have Scoob, the new animated film of Scooby-Doo. We have the new version of Sonic the Hedgehog. They went and altered Sonic after all of the backlash up online. And then we have the brand new trailer for SpongeBob movie Sponge on the Run, which features an incredible cameo from Keanu Reeves. The Keanu-sans is alive. Keith, buy and sell, man. Which one are you buying and which ones are you selling?
Well, I have a soft spot for SpongeBob SquarePants. My son loves SpongeBob when he's little, and it's one of our favorite movies. All the kids now, but they're all teenagers now. But we just watched the first SpongeBob movie maybe like a month ago. Boy,
I heard it was funny.
It's
pretty funny.
hilarious.
It's because they had to do something to keep the adults entertained, and they put
They
adults.
definitely did. It's great. It's great. That last one that came out a couple years ago was not that bad either. The kind of CG-ish looking.
Oh
one.
yeah,
But,
yeah.
So I'm gonna go with that.
Okay.
Because the last few seasons of the show, it's sort of like The Simpsons, where like the last maybe 5 or 6 seasons, the show got dumb. It changed his voice. I think they switched out the actor that did his voice, and it was kind of silly. But the creator just passed away. I think last year, Steven Hillenburg. So shout out to him.
It's arguably one of the greatest animated shows to ever be made.
Absolutely,
It
man.
is.
The first maybe 5 seasons. It's so cute and clever.
I know I watched it as a kid.
It's really
I watched
right.
it.
Like,
Yeah.
I imagine you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until I
all the
stopped
pillows.
watching it,
Yeah.
up until that point, I watched every single episode.
Right, and it's so clever and it's very well
And
done.
it's
really fun.
there's some edgy jokes
Yes,
in SpongeBob.
absolutely.
It's
They're
kind
bad.
of like some of those animated movies where like it's an adult joke,
Yeah.
but the kids aren't never gonna get it, so it's okay.
There's a lot of that, yeah.
Yeah.
So I would go with that one. I'll buy
Yeah.
it.
So out of these 3 trailers, so I love SpongeBob as well, but I don't really like this trailer that much. The animation looks weird. It does not look
Kinda.
like the TV show animation, and it looks very odd. But I do love the first SpongeBob movie and the series. But I'm gonna choose Scoob out of these. Scoob.
I'm selling that hard. Enough Scooby Doo, man. Listen.
I mean, I'm sure Jake feels the same, but a boy and his dog. I'm sold.
If you
And
put anything boy in his dog, this guy's gonna buy it.
Yeah.
A boy
Need
in
him-
his dragon. A boy in his.
how about
This trailer's incredible.
a boy, a dog, and his car? That would be the perfect movie for Jake.
This trailer's incredible.
Yeah, I love this movie or this trailer for this movie, and I love when he gives him the collar and Scooby says, "I'm never gonna take this off."
Don't start.
Like I got chills watching that, and it's just I'm a dog person, so Scoob got to me. I usually never say I don't want to watch a movie, but I really don't want to watch Sonic, but I might check it out. We'll see. But I was gonna say the redesign of Sonic, I couldn't tell the difference, but I just pulled up an image
Looks
and
way better.
it looks
You couldn't
way
tell the
better.
difference.
Looks way
Just
better.
from the trailers. Like I didn't
You
remember
need a
it
new
that
prescription
well.
then.
Yeah, at first in the trailer I couldn't, but looking at them side by side,
It looks way more like the game.
way better.
Game version.
The
movie still
I
looks
choose
dumb, though.
I buy Scoob as well. I'll move on quickly, but the voice cast for this movie is awesome. I don't know if you
It's
guys
for
know.
Scoob?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Zac Efron's playing Freddy. Gina Rodriguez is playing Velma.
Oh, really? I didn't get
Amanda Seyfried is playing Daphne. Will Forte is Shaggy, and then the original Scoob actor is coming back to play Scoob.
Oh, that's cool.
that's awesome.
So and then Tracy Morgan, Mark Wahlberg makes an appearance. Like it's a great cast. I know that's hard to. I mean, there's a lot of anime movies that do that. But I like the voices, and I think the trailer is really, really good in my opinion.
Was
so.
Daphne wearing a Wonder Woman costume?
Maybe.
It's a Warner Brothers,
Brothers
thing,
movie,
so
so
that
why
would make
not?
sense.
Yeah.
Did you choose a trailer yet?
No. Thanks for remembering. But I'm honestly.
All right, so let's move on. So,
Yeah, I know, right? I'm honestly a coin toss. Like I'll watch any of these. I'm more intrigued now that Sonic doesn't look like garbage.
A person.
I do love James Marsden.
hedgehog
though,
person?
so I
Yeah.
might go see it just for James
Oh,
Marsden.
yeah, that's right.
But if the quarter falls, I'm kind of leaning towards Scoob right now. But
I never
SpongeBob
thought I would
draws
be
me
into
just
the
because
Scoob
of the
movie.
childhood memory.
Yeah, I still want to watch SpongeBob.
Yeah, I want to go watch Scoob with him just to see him cry.
Get all
and stuff.
choked up.
Yeah, all choked up.
Are you gonna bring Kylo to?
If I can bring the drive-in. Maybe the drive-in. Yeah, maybe the
Oh,
drive-in.
yeah, that's right.
All right, well, moving on to our next set of trailers here. We have some live-action trailers. We have the horror thriller, I guess you can say, Fantasy Island. Has Michael Pena in there. We have the Kristen Stewart-led Seberg, and the Ben Affleck-led The Way Back, the sports drama. Brian, let's start with you, man. Which trailer are you buying, and which ones are you selling?
Seberg. I'm all in on that. That looks. I don't even know what kind of genre you would call that.
Drama?
Yeah, but it's always like I love a good like.
It's based on true events, right?
Yeah, it's a drama.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love a good like when they go back to like an olden times like 60s or 50s or something and retell like someone.
So a period piece.
Yeah, like that, but like not a slow period piece like that.
It's like it kind of has a thriller element to it.
Yeah,
in a way.
exactly. And dude, Kristen Stewart is
She's working
Kristen
a lot.
Stewart is putting her face out there a lot. So it's funny because I didn't really like her that much. Now I'm starting to
Most
kind of
people
be
do.
like, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
you've piqued my interest. Charlie's Angels kind of was the first one that really like piqued my interest, and I'm yet to go see that. But
She's gotten a lot better
Since the Twilight days.
Yeah.
recently. I
those
forgot.
movies
Oh,
just
so the thing that I liked her in was Cafe Society. It was a Woody Harrelson film, but there's other movies that she's been in.
Woody
where-
Allen.
Oh, sorry, Woody Allen film. Yeah, that'd be very different. But there's other movies that she's been in where people have praised her. There's one movie she did with Jennifer Aniston, but I never saw it.
Alice.
Where they both
still Alice.
Still
where
Alice.
they
Oscar
both
winner.
apparently were amazing. in
She
that film.
Julianne Moore won the Oscar for that one. There was also another one called Camp X-Ray where she played a prison guard.
Oh, okay, yeah,
She was incredible in it
Camp
as well.
X-ray.
Camp X-Ray. Yeah, it was a small movie.
although I do think she looks underwater looks stupid. With her.
She's just swimming.
Yeah,
I definitely buy The Way Back. Hands down, The Way Back. Fantasy Island. Look, Blumhouse doesn't disappoint much.
can you
to be
stop
honest.
picking the ones to sound cooler? Because you know you
No.
want the Blumhouse.
Fantasy
every
Island
time.
looks terrible, but
You know
I
he
bet
was
you
in
it's
Sacramento.
I bet you it's not bad. But I'm choosing The Way Back. Huge Ben Affleck fan. It's kind of touching because he deals with addiction in his real life and has gone to rehab several times and struggles with that. So he probably felt a connection to this role. And like you said, a coach basketball movie. Like
Yeah.
I love those.
I love
So
it, yeah.
The Way Back for
Yeah,
sure.
that would be mine as well. Yeah, I love a good basketball coach movie, or any basketball movie. We're basketball guys, so I'm gonna go with that one. Although I'm intrigued by Fantasy Island. I was just looking it up, and it's a kind of a remake of the TV series from which I remember when I was a little kid.
I like the concept,
So-
but it just looked cheesy.
Yeah. I mean, Blumhouse, like you said. I mean, it might be all right. Got an interesting cast here. Michael Rooker, Yondu is in it. Michael Rooker. So Maggie Q, who we don't see very often, was a Bond girl.
It's a pretty good
Yeah,
cast.
it's a pretty good cast.
It's a pretty good
Yeah.
cast. Yeah. I buy
I'm intrigued.
Seabird.
Yes!
I make it two.
That
I buy
does
Seabird.
look.
Yeah. I really like Kristen Stewart.
Yeah.
I think that she's really made good strides since her Twilight days as far
Yeah.
as acting goes.
Both of them.
She's doing now what Robert Pattinson did very quickly after Twilight, right?
Yeah.
He jumped on board with the very small indie films that kind of got his acting ability out there. She's starting to do that now after kind of like being in the shadows a
Yeah.
lot.
Oh yeah, they're both trying to
And
go
you
a
can
little more
tell she's kind of opening up
mainstream.
as an actor.
Right.
And I think this is a good role for her to really be like, I'm the real deal. Like I'm.
People
gonna
need
be
to let
that.
the Twilight thing go. These
Exactly.
actors are great. Yeah.
Exactly.
Did
you watch The
Blumhouse?
King?
The King?
And
No,
am
not
I the
yet.
only one still?
Is
I watched
how much is Robert Pattinson in it?
Not very much,
Not
but when
very
he's
much.
in there, he's pretty dope. Not gonna
It's
lie.
on Amazon, right?
No, it's on
No,
Netflix.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Netflix
Was
movie.
Truth or Dare a Blumhouse movie? Do you guys remember?
I'm not 100% sure.
Probably.
Oh, yeah, it is. So I do like Lucy Hale though. She was in Truth or Dare, which wasn't bad to be honest. So maybe this movie won't
How's
be bad.
Countdown?
Fantasy Island. I'm never watching Countdown in my life unless you pay me.
All right.
I'll
Well,
watch
our
it
next
again.
news story, next buy or sell, excuse me, is the new Damien Chazelle film, and it is titled Babylon. It has officially been given a 2020 release date for award season, and it looks like Emma Stone and Brad Pitt are in talks to star in the film. And a little bit of a background on the film. This is per Variety. The film is said to take place during the transition from silent films to talkies and will feature a mix of real life and fictional characters similar to Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. While the exact budget is still to be determined, sources have indicated Chazelle will be assembling an all-star cast to an all-star ensemble to share the screen with Stone and Pitt. I'll start this one because I absolutely love Chazelle's work. You guys know how I feel about First Man with Ryan Gosling, and then I absolutely love La La Land. And nothing against Whiplash as well.
Whiplash
Great
is
film.
still my favorite
Great
movie.
film.
Of his, yeah.
He's 3 for 3 in my opinion. I will watch anything he does. I think he's one of the best young directors out there. And him getting Brad Pitt, who's kind of on the up and up again, and Emma Stone, of course, in his film again makes sense. I completely 100% buy this. So
I don't know anything about.
We forgot he directed
Yes.
Whiplash.
yeah,
I've only seen La La Land, so I don't. I
never saw that.
and I loved that. And
I actually think he would enjoy Whiplash. I mean, I don't know
Whiplash is
why I think
really
that,
good.
but it's a
You're
great
right.
movie.
Miles Teller, J.K. Simmons,
And
and music.
It's not a
musical
boring
drama.
Supergirl?
movie.
Supergirl's in it?
It's a drama, but it's
Yeah,
not.
Melissa, that's where she first popped up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
She's barely in it though.
Yeah.
But still, it's
I mean,
mostly Miles Teller. and
I'm not going to say no to Brad Pitt and Emma Stone. So that alone has my interest peaked.
Oh yeah, I 100% buy this. Even if it was next Damien Chazelle film, period, I buy. But Babylon, starring Emma Stone and Brad Pitt, set in the Hollywood setting where with real actors and like people playing true real people.
That's an
I love
interesting
it.
time.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
an
excited.
interesting time too. That transition because a lot of people have really struggled with it. Charlie Chaplin going from silent films to talkies,
Talking.
as they call him, was he was not as well received. There's a couple of Buster Keaton was another one. Really had a hard time making that transition, so that'll be interesting to see. But I have a problem with. I hope they're not playing a couple, because that drives me nuts with Hollywood. Because he's in his 50s, he's maybe 30. That's come on, man.
Maybe they're co-stars in a movie or
Yeah.
something, and they're
I could see
transitioning
that.
or
Yeah,
something
right.
like that.
I hope that's the case.
I don't think they're going to be romantically involved, but it doesn't matter to me if they were or not.
Yeah. No, I just
She
and
might
just
be
for the
some
sake
young
of
girl that
casting,
thinks he's a hot older
Maybe.
actor.
or vice versa. She
Yeah.
maybe some kind of producer. That
Yeah.
wants her to, I
Or
don't
maybe
know.
he's the old school silent film actor, and she's the
That's
actual
probably
talkie
the new,
film.
That's probably
yeah.
what it is.
That'd be
which
cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, our next news story revolves around a big blockbuster that's similar to Black Adam that's been in the works for a very, very, very long time, and it is the adaptation of the Uncharted video game. And it has been announced that Mark Wahlberg is nearing a deal, not official, but he is nearing a deal to star opposite Tom Holland in the Uncharted film, more than likely as his mentor Sully. And it looks like it's going to be an origin story for the character of, what's his name? Nathan Drake, right?
Nathan Drake. Yes.
And this is going off of, from what I've heard, the third video game that takes place in essentially one level. And so they're going to run with it because they probably want to do 3, 4, 5 movies of this thing, trying to get it off the ground. But the movie's been taking a very long time to do. David O. Russell was once attached to star or to direct, and Mark Wahlberg was attached to star as Nathan Drake back in the day. And so kind of a cool little runaround. But Travis Knight is going to be directing Holland and Wahlberg if this deal does in fact go true. Keith, you buying or selling, man?
Sell. Listen, I'm a big Uncharted guy. That's my favorite video game series ever.
Is it? I've always
yes.
wanted to play it, but I
I
haven't.
love it. My PS4 is the Uncharted edition.
Oh, well, there you go.
So yeah, I literally bought it just to play Uncharted 4. Yeah, this is all wrong. This is all wrong. They should be starting with regular adult Nathan Drake. Then if they want to jump back for part 2 or part 3. So the in Uncharted 3, there's this, like you said, there's like this one level where it's him as a kid, and you see how him and Sully met. And then there's actually more of it in Uncharted 4. So there's a little more depth into it with him and his brother. And it's a whole backstory. Uncharted's awesome. If you haven't played it,
I've always wanted to play it.
So
It's a modern
good.
day indie.
The stories about it are great. I don't really like a lot of video game cutscenes, because I just want to play the game, right? But this one is one where, like, I'll be playing Uncharted. My whole family will sit down and watch.
I've heard everyone say that.
Yeah,
everyone
fully. They'll sit down and watch. Like, I would get home from work and are you playing Uncharted today? Yeah. Let me just turn it on. Everybody would sit down and watch, and we'll sit there and watch it like it's a movie. The idea of an Uncharted movie. It's a great idea, but starting with him as a kid for a whole movie, like you said, it's only just one segment of. We see how they met. Mark Wahlberg playing this character. He's kind of his name's Victor Sullivan. So he calls him Sully, and he kind of just took him in. It's kind of a classic story. I know we gotta go, but the kid tried to steal something from him, and he catches him, and he just kind of takes him in under his wing.
Oh, Ezra and Kanan.
Yeah,
Pretty much,
it's exactly like that. I didn't think about that. Yes.
I don't know anything about Uncharted.
The character, the casting of Wahlberg for me, it's because he's more of he looks kind of like a J. Jonah Jameson. He's got the gray hair and the mustache, and he's chomping a cigar all the time. And hey, kid, come on, let me show you.
He's older, right?
He is older. He is. Yes.
He's like a 50 or 60-year-old.
In the flashback, he's a slightly younger.
I'm looking at an image of him now. I think
It's
they
a
could
weird
age Wahlberg up a little bit
Wahlberg?
for this.
I mean, so aside from the fact that they're doing an origin movie, do you just like the casting of Wahlberg?
No. Not for this role, no.
Okay.
If he was playing Drake,
Ryan,
that would be okay.
Because you played him, right?
No, I haven't,
okay.
but I've always wanted to because I've never heard a bad word spoken about these games. I mean, I'll buy it just because I just want to see this movie. But I mean, from what Keith's saying, it's making me think like I don't know, but I don't know anything about it.
Travis Knight being attached is a good.
Yeah.
Well, he's officially directing, right?
Yeah, that's
amazing.
That's good. I'm curious to see what he'll do with it.
I'm sure if I played the game, I would have a better opinion for it. I actually just want to see this.
I
movie,
buy
so.
this.
Yeah.
Tom Holland's 23. Like, I know he looks like a kid, and we associate him as a 16-year-old, but he's 23. He's a man.
But isn't Nathan Drake probably what?
He's in his 30s.
Yeah,
or something.
Well
So,
into his 30s.
I'm okay with it, and not knowing anything about Uncharted, just Travis Knight attached. I think this movie's gonna be great.
It might be. I'll definitely give it a shot.
I hope it's great because I want a good video game movie.
Yeah.
Well, Travis Knight hasn't
because
disappointed
Tomb Raider.
Yeah, right.
since. If anything, he elevated Transformers. So
Okay, I want a second good movie because Tomb Raider was awesome. All right,
just
moving on to our
the
next
new one, right?
Well,
They just
honestly,
announced
Yeah.
well, this might be the first, and we said this about plenty, but I guarantee this will be the first universally loved
Hopefully.
Oh, I don't
video
know.
game movie.
We'll see.
I don't know.
Put it on the bet board.
All right, moving on to our next story. We have a very, very, very cool story. If in fact it's done right, actually, Netflix has officially acquired the rights to do a Beverly Hills Cop 4 film with Eddie Murphy attached to star and Jerry Bruckheimer coming back to produce. I don't know, Brian. Have you ever seen the Beverly Hills Cop movies? Jacob, have you ever seen the Beverly Hills Cop movies?
I've seen a few of them when I was a kid, but I do remember watching one a few years ago on TV, and
It was probably
it was
3.
very funny.
I think Keith and I, dude, one.
Oh,
my
it's
god! Oh my god!
man.
The banana and the tailpipe. Oh my god!
Everything we have now, all the kind of cop comedies that we've gotten from like the Rush Hour or like Bad Boys, it's all Beverly Hills Cop started all
So
that.
4 or 5 years ago, or maybe even like 2 years ago, I would have sold this. But because of Dolomite Is My Name,
Well,
I buy this.
that's probably why they announced this.
And they're doing
Coming
Coming to America 2.
Yeah.
Craig Brewer directed Dolomite. He's doing Coming to America 2. I wouldn't mind if he did this as well if they have a good repertoire together.
Yeah.
Didn't Eddie Murphy do a stand-up recently, or he's gonna do?
He's
a
going.
says
He's signed a deal with
Netflix
Netflix.
deal,
He's signed a deal
right?
with Netflix, so he has a really good connection with them to do stuff right now.
Yeah.
But I buy this because of this is the new Renaissance that's happening. It was the reconnaissance. It's the Keanu-sance. It's Eddie Murphy's time. He's officially back after seeing Dolomite. He's back.
Yeah.
I buy this. I really
That's
do.
I
awesome.
keep forgetting about Dolomite, and I want to watch it.
No, me too.
Eddie Murphy is one of the greatest comedy presence of all
Yes.
time. He's back on the level he was when we saw him 10 years ago.
Sweet, I'm
That's
down.
crazy.
Yeah.
I buy it. Like I don't have a huge past of watching Beverly Hills Cop, but I love Eddie Murphy, and I do like the Beverly Hills Cop movies. I love the style of them and the tone of them. I don't know if they're going to be able to recapture that, but I do buy this overall.
Make it different. Beverly Hills Cop 3 is terrible. That's not. You can skip that. But 1 and 2, if you haven't seen those, I'll definitely watch those. So yeah, I'm the same. Bye. Big bye. It's Eddie Murphy. He's back. One of my biggest influences. Just everything. Comedically, like a comedic. People say all the time about a lot of people, but like a comedic genius. Like, bye. Bye.
All right, moving on to our last buy and sell here, guys. We're going to TV just for this one story, and it is about Sin City, the Frank Miller property that is officially getting the TV treatment after a number of films. Potentially, Robert Rodriguez may be involved as well. Not official yet, but it looks like the property is going to be headed to TV with a TV series. This is according to Deadline as well. So I don't know if everyone has seen the Sin City movies or not. Not positive. Brian, I don't know if you have or not.
I actually was obsessed with this movie when I
Really?
was growing up.
Okay, so cool. Let's start with you. Do you like the fact that they're going to be transferred to TV, or do you kind of want to see more movies from it? Do you buy it or sell it?
I'll buy it just because you can literally go ask my parents. I was obsessed with the first movie. I probably watched it well over 100 times. I don't know. It was weird.
That's why I missed all those other movies.
Probably. I don't know why. That movie, I think, because it was something I had never seen before, and it felt like a comic book movie, like a real comic book movie, and so it intrigues me. It intrigues me what they would do for a TV show, so I'll buy it.
Did you see A Dame to Kill For?
No, I think I purposely didn't watch that
same
one. Because I can't think of the storyline, so I guess I haven't. But
It had Joseph Gordon-Levitt in it and Ava Green.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Bruce Willis.
I think
Wasn't
he
he
returned.
actually,
Really?
maybe I did see it.
He was in part of it, I believe.
I think he was in part of it.
Maybe
I didn't. A lot of people did not like the second one, but I actually didn't mind it. I didn't love it or anything like that, but I actually enjoyed parts of it, especially the Joseph Gordon-Levitt stuff.
Yeah, I had posters of this movie, the first one. Like, I was all for it. So
It's almost like a cult classic, maybe. The first one, I would say.
maybe
It
it's
was
in my
huge when it came
little
out.
over there.
It was.
I think people are
It
more
was a pretty
attached to the
hot
book.
topic.
It's similar. If they do a similar thing to, it sounds like a Watchmen situation where they'll take it and make a TV series out of it. And I love the first one as well. But it's funny that this came up because I just started watching it maybe about 2 weeks ago. So I was going to try to show it to my daughter. So they were, what's Sin City? Oh, yeah, well, let's see. Maybe we can watch some of this.
Yeah.
Then I got to some parts and I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, so do you buy the TV show?
Yeah, I'll buy it. I'm intrigued by it.
Also, I just noticed this, but in the deal that they made, there's also a hard R animated prequel series.
I saw that. Yeah.
And they're saying maybe for kids, but that doesn't make any sense.
No, I think they were joking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But no, I will buy this as long as it's set up at a network or service that allows it to be Sin City.
Exactly.
It can't be on a specific network that doesn't allow
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So
Plus.
if it's Netflix,
Well,
awesome.
who has the rights to
If
Sin
it's
City?
something like HBO Max, awesome. What's Legendary Pictures, which Legendary works with Warner Brothers a lot, and Warner Brothers typically works with HBO because they own each other.
Oh, from
If it's-
Legendary TV.
Hence
And
the
so-
Watchmen
If it's
thing.
on HBO
So-
Max, that actually intrigues me.
Yeah, if it's on HBO Max or just HBO in general, I'm cool with that.
I can see that,
But
yeah.
it has to be on a network for it to work with me.
Yeah.
So, personally.
Well, they update the like when I was watching it, I'm like, okay, because they literally because Rodriguez invited Frank Miller to direct, which was probably not a great idea, but
watch The Spirit and then
yeah, exactly.
He directed the whole thing.
and he takes the dialogue straight from the comics, puts it on screen. I don't think it played as well. It's one of those things where the dialogue's better in the book instead of on screen. It's really weird to watch.
I barely buy this. I don't know what more you can do in this world, but I do have an attachment to it, so I barely buy it.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's move on to our last section of the day, guys. It is what we are looking forward to this week. Some big movies coming out this weekend, along with all the other TV we're watching. Obviously, we have Watchmen and the Mandalorian episode coming out on Friday. Keith, make sure you get on that. But as far as film goes, we have Frozen 2, the long-awaited sequel, A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, 21 Bridges, and Dark Waters, which is Mark Ruffalo and from the director of Spotlight. Not really having a whole lot of press out there as of now, but Jacob, out of these movies and maybe even TV that you're watching. What are you buying?
So I feel like we have to take the Mandalorian episode 3 out of this.
Okay, let's take it out of
because
our then.
hands down, that's what I'm looking forward to the most. No question, by 1,000 miles. But weirdly enough, I'm excited for Frozen 2.
Yes!
That's what I'm choosing. I want to see Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. It looks amazing. It's going to win like 25 Oscars. But Frozen 2, I never thought I would be this excited for Frozen 2. Like the first Frozen, I don't think it's great. It's a good animated Disney film. It took the world by storm and made over $1 billion. Frozen 2 looks amazing. It looks more mature, more grown up.
Yeah. Dark.
It's carrying this like strong female character thing along with it, where a lot of the princesses that girls grew up watching were some of them were strong characters like Belle and things like that, but traditionally they're damsels in distress being saved by exactly. These girls are the main characters. They're leading the journey. They're in the forefront, and one of them has powers, and one of them is just a strong person. So I'm down for Frozen 2.
I'm with you. Frozen 2. That's all I gotta say.
I think
Frozen 2.
I am too, which is
A
the fact
podcast
that-
of grown men.
I was literally
four
about
grown
to say.
men.
So
Three of them
I'm
chose Frozen
really
2.
looking forward to a Beautiful Day in the
Yeah,
Neighborhood.
so am I.
I think that Tom Hanks has a chance at probably more than likely winning Best Actor because of the role. We almost got a chance of seeing a screener on Wednesday. They cut the line 4 people ahead of us because they ran out of seats. I think 21 Bridges looks cool. Chadwick Boseman in an action role. It's produced by the Russo brothers. And Dark Waters, I think I'm interested in because it's the director of Spotlight.
And Mark Ruffalo, that was probably his best performance.
And
that was
Anne Hathaway's in this film as well.
which he was nominated for.
And so I think that this weekend is stacked, but out of the 4, I'm going to go Frozen 2.
You guys listen. I hear you. Frozen 2 does actually.
Hey, you're lucky. You can take one of your daughters to go see it.
They don't even want to see it.
What? How?
My youngest.
I'm gonna go watch it by myself. No.
That's true. 21 Bridges. I've been seeing trailers for that all year. I feel like since last year sometime. I feel like they've been pushing that back for.
The second Endgame came out.
Yeah, that's crazy. But A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood is. I've been looking forward to that since I first saw the trailer a few months back. Mr. Rogers, Fred Rogers, is that documentary that came out last year was incredible.
Won't You Be My Neighbor?
Won't You Be My? Oh my goodness, man! And
they said they watched it multiple times to make sure they had everything right.
Really? Oh wow! See, yeah, man, and Tom Hanks is Mr. Rogers. I mean,
so I just found this out quickly, but this film has been in the works for like about 10 years.
Really?
And they've been trying to figure out a way to do it. And the
Wow.
goal, they found out that a documentary was being made. They're like, we got to beat this documentary. We got to beat it. And they didn't end up beating it.
They wanted to come out before the documentary.
And so they were like, well, let's use it to our advantage. And we're going to watch it. We're going to make sure we have everything right. And it seems like
I think the documentary helped this movie because
Exactly.
it raised more awareness about.
And Tom Hanks has talked about it as well. In press.
He may have been the nicest human being that has ever lived. I mean, it's stuff with him testifying or speaking to the Congress and stuff. It's just, I'm really looking forward to A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood.
Cool.
So,
Well, on that note, can't wait to see Frozen 2.
Us 3 rolling into
course,
Frozen
us 3.
2.
We got to go watch it together opening night, guys. Wear our Frozen t-shirts. My Olaf shirt. No, I really don't have one. But that's going to do it for Apocaflix now. Thank everybody for watching. Look out for our future stuff. Next big thing is probably the Mandalorian episode 3. I'm hoping to get on that because I want to talk some spoilers.
We're gonna try and do it
with
live.
the Mandalorian.
We're gonna test out
our
this
first
week.
official live.
We're gonna
show.
see if we can.
Okay,
shoot
so
live.
it airs on Friday.
Airs on Friday.
Okay, so I'll be here
Immediately.
We're watching it
Immediately.
What do you mean?
Get here.
Get here immediately.
Yeah.
But I don't know when I'm gonna watch it. Like, are we gonna watch it first and then record it?
Depends on
Because I don't know if I'm gonna be able to.
Depends on what time you
But
get
I don't
here.
think I'm gonna be able to watch it before work. But we'll see. We'll figure that out. But anyways, tune in next Friday for our review episode of The Mandalorian episode 3. Thank you all for watching. I'm Jacob Bartley. That's Jake Berlin over there behind the controls in the A's t-shirt. That is Stormy back there in the glasses. He's a little quiet today. He's feeling under the weather, but he should be good to go next week. We got Keith Barnes here and Brian Avalosino. Thank everybody for joining me today. Thanks for watching. We'll see y'all next time.
Hey everyone, Jacob Bartley here. Thanks for watching. If you want to check out something similar from Apocaflix Movies, click this video up here. You want something a little bit different? Check out this video down here. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to Apocaflix Movies and let us know your thoughts in the comments section. We always love to hear from you. Thanks for watching.